Hello and welcome back to the Lich Please podcast. It's going to be a chill episode today, just me and Alex.
Yeah.
So, have you recovered
From last
Have you-
session? Not really.
after Monday?
No, not really. I was I was scared last session. I thought because you said before.
Okay, should
a
we
week before,
briefly run down what happened before we get into it?
Yeah. So
You guys died.
yeah,
Well,
pretty much. Yeah. Well, kind of. Yeah, so we were running for another goblin camp because we've been going through them quite quickly
Yep.
recently.
You've been
I
targeting them.
think that was our fifth one or fourth.
It's one of your last.
Yeah,
It's one of the last.
So we're running through it. It's quite a big one. So this was two session goblin camp. Honestly, the first session we got into the camp, we absolutely eviscerated everything.
Yeah. You did well.
Yeah. Second session, we got through them quite easy, and then we got to the end part. Now, so the session before, Iwan said this camp will be a hard camp. I think. I feel like I strictly remember you saying that. So I was like, cool.
I did. Say
the end's probably going to be difficult. A few of us might get downed, whatever, right? Like that will happen.
Yeah.
So it's like, cool. We'll go in. We'll do some stuff. I think I was as prepared as I could be for my expectations for that final fight. Having picked up like chain previously and like some small weapons to use, I was ready, right?
Yeah.
Walk in.
You were also getting very confident, overconfident. The party was overconfident.
Yes. I mean, we were rolling good. We were killing things, man. It was good. Minus my initiative rolls, but that's not the point. Yeah. So we got in. There was 2 hobgoblins and a half dragon, which is great fun. Yeah, great fun.
At level 2.
Yep.
At level 2.
At level 2. Yeah, it ended very quickly. Meh.
It did.
Yeah.
I could have ended it immediately, but I wanted to give you guys a bit of a fight.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna say Tyr got down first. I think.
Yes.
Off the top of my head.
But Tyr only went down first because he compelled dueled the
Yes.
the half dragon.
Yes. Tyr got down first,
which saved the rest of you.
For a
while.
Yeah. Tyr got downed. I was blinded, I think, straight away before I even got my turn in combat. So I think I was last in initiative again for like the fourth time that night. That was like my third natural one initiative. So I was blinded straight away, off the get go. To which, instead of playing like normal people do when they are blinded, and they just run at something and roll and attack with disadvantage, I just rolled a dice, D8, to see which direction I'd walk. North, northwest, west, like.
Oh, that's really cool. Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, that's why I walked to the table. Because I rolled a 2.
Yeah, no, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, and it was northeast. Yeah, so. Yeah, I ended up not near any enemies and hit a table. Then I died. Like straight after that, I took a lightning bolt. Or is it lightning bolt? Is it just lightning?
It was lightning bolt.
Lightning bolt. Straight to my head. Now, when I look back, I took 26 points of damage. Right, I have 24 health. I easily could have Stone's Endurance and stayed alive. Because my Stone's Endurance is a D12 plus 4. So, like, I would have stayed alive regardless of the roll, right? I forgot. I forgot. I was just like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it happened.
Yeah. So then, who else went down? Astra after me? I think it went Tyr, me, Astra, or
yes. Yeah, that's who initially went down. Yeah. You get
So when Tyr, me, Astra, then Northine revived Tyr.
Yeah.
I think she healed Tyr, and then
she did. Yes.
Yeah. She did get up Tyr. Yeah, she did. Which the consequences of that will be next session.
Yes, we'll explore that.
Yeah. And then Tyr lay on hands Astra.
Yes.
And then Finan.
No, Tyr used a greater potion of healing on Astra and
Yeah.
kept the hit points.
Yeah.
The lay
And
on
then
hands.
Finan
healed
cure
you
wounds
using
me.
the amulet of love he got back in like session
That's
2.
what it was. Yeah. So I got up with like 17 hit points. It was nice.
Yeah.
I think it was actually exactly 17. Yeah. So then basically everyone just got killed, like in that next turn.
Fireball.
Yeah.
Because do you want to explain why?
Why we all had to get killed, or why everyone got killed in the next
why
turn?
why you all got killed that turn?
Well, I survived.
You did.
I survived.
But you also convinced the hobgoblins the half-dragon wasn't on their side.
Yeah.
The hobgoblin was like, well, okay, I'm going to wipe them all out with a fireball.
Yeah, I tried to make a play. I thought he would help us kill the half-dragon, and then we would kill them. Didn't work.
Yeah, but you forgot that he was still against you.
Yes. It's playing into my Dan role there. Yeah. So, yeah, everyone got fireballed. I survived. In fact, that's when I remember Stone's Endurance. I only took 3 points of damage.
It was.
Because I rolled...
Which panicked me so much when you did that. I was like, fuck, no. I
was like, yeah, this is nice. I might survive. I didn't think that. I knew I was going to die. So I was on 14, and then I got hit for max damage, which was exactly my health, and I was so sad because I was like, I could survive if I got hit for anything less. Someone was getting revived, right? 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I would have second winded.
People were permadead, right? Because of the damage.
Yeah, actually, Northine, Finan, and Astra. Yeah, I think it was just here. Yeah. Yes, but I got max damaged and I died.
You were saved.
We were. Now, in all honesty, when we got TPK'd, I didn't think that was it. I was like, well, Iwan's not going to do something like that. He's not just going to kill us all. He's not going to put us level 2 against 2 hobgoblins.
Sick of your shit, wiping you all out.
There's no way. I was like, this is not going to happen. So clearly something, I thought one of the gods were going to help us.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I thought that's what the premise was. I didn't think we were going to get transported to Verminia, which is basically, for some little backstory, I think about a month ago.
I think we've mentioned the rats.
We've mentioned the rats. I don't think we did.
We've not spoken about that encounter because we know people in the party listened, so have avoided that little secret. If you remember a few episodes ago, probably actually when I say a few episodes ago, I mean like back in December. We spoke about Dan's little secret.
Yes.
This is Dan's little secret.
Yeah, so basically me and Tyr were off somewhere, right? In a forest in a town. Because Tyr wanted to not sleep in the town, so I decided to keep him company. And there, obviously everyone knows about the Rat Pack. We've talked about it on the Unwrapped and in episodes. It's basically just a bag of holding just for rats, right? Because people eat rats in this world.
Just a fun, goofy little item.
It's nice. But
we found that was a fun, goofy little item.
Yeah, it did. But people found. So we found this one really, really big Chad rat, huge Gorlock. Yeah. And we put him in the Rat Pack in hopes that we would get basically like a set of extremely huge rats from there forward. Kind of that happened.
It did happen.
Yeah, well, me and Tyr got awoken basically at night from a big rat. Gorlock's descendants from the future, basically asking us to help in a holy war kind of type of thing, or like a civil war, whatever war you want to call it. Inside the Rat Pack in the future.
Inside the Rat Pack in a country called Romania.
Yeah, pretty much. So me and Tyr then decided to declare everyone as gods of that country and we asked for daily sacrifices. So basically, me and Tay had unlimited food.
Yeah,
we'd wake up with like a skinned rat every morning. It was great fun. Yeah, unlimited food. I thought so. Iwan told us at some point we'd end up in there, and we were like, cool. It's going to be a while, right? Like, this won't happen soon. No, it happened last session. We are there currently.
yeah.
To help with this holy war.
Yeah,
yeah, pretty much.
So you were saved at the moment before death by their priests. You were teleported to a temple in Vermania, and that is the first introduction everyone else had to the knowledge that they were deities in this sort of bag world.
Yes, yes.
You were met by a room full of praying rats worshipping you as the divines.
Yeah. I thought it was hilarious. Me and Tyr, honestly, I said this so many times. This is my favourite interaction ever, full stop, that's happened in the whole campaign. Bear in mind, so up until maybe November, I'd never been in the Whispers channel.
True, yes.
Because Dan has no secrets. Okay.
Like, Dan is an open book.
Full stop. Even when I had ended up in the Whisper Room for praying to a god and getting them to talk back, I did say everything that happened.
Everything you were told, yeah.
Yes, was just told to
without even a second thought, just immediately out with everything.
I got asked and just said everything, right? So up until that point, Dan's never had his own secret. And then I was told, I found it amazing, and Tyr said we shouldn't tell anyone. So I said, fuck it. We're not telling shit. But they figured it out because in my head, Dan's really bad at keeping secrets. So he just openly talked about it, but he didn't specifically say what it was. So Rosie figured it out. She's like, oh, are you guys just gods of rats or something? And I was like, yes. In my head, I was like, we are, but I can't tell you. So then I'd just talk about it in normal chat. Like, I'd just be like, oh, Tyr, check the rat pack. Is there anything there? and then you were like, we rolled a dice to listen to it. And then you said you heard like battle sounds. I was like, yeah, this is, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep this secret up. Yeah.
It was a big one. It was
great.
You're going to be in a few short episode sessions in Romania, just chilling, just doing some things.
Yeah, it should be interesting. It's one way to put it. Yeah.
Maybe someone is getting a level up.
I think Tyr.
You do?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Because you said you wanted everyone's like backstories to go into their level up, right? So
yes,
he's been getting a lot of backstory work recently. 100%. I think it's Tyr. It's got to be right.
Okay.
He's got the new purple. He's got the dog, and he's got the purple wings now. I think it's Tyr.
I might do you.
See, I would be
shocked by a Goliath rat.
See, that'd be fun. Yeah, but I don't think it's me. I think I will be like one of the last. I'm convinced.
It might be Finnan. It might be there's a lot of people. It
could be anyone. Yeah,
being a cleric, could be a god now.
True, could be anyone. Yeah. I'm still calling Tyr. I still think it's Tyr. Like 95%, I think it's Tyr. 5% is Northine or Astra.
Really?
I don't think it would be me or Finnan. Like I'm quite sure it won't be me or Finnan.
That's interesting.
Yeah, maybe this is reverse psychology. So you make me lying. You could be. But you did say that there would be a level up before, like one or two of us will get a level 3 before I start my campaign.
I think so. I think yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, the speed. I'm happy we're in Vermania now. The speed at which we are going through the goblins just then had me nervous because I was like, "Oh really? Shit!" Yeah, I've kind of just cut back on like the preparation.
Yeah. I was going to say, let's have. We've not really spoken about like world building and the sort of that side of things for a while. So, like, where are you at? Because I've not asked you. Like,
honestly, I haven't even. I basically haven't done anything in a month, right?
Okay.
Which is like it's like a whole month. No, I've been honestly. I've been.
Yeah, I mean, I went through phases of that.
Yeah, it's more like there was problems with my computer, so that doesn't help.
Yeah.
I did the smart thing and uploaded all my files onto a USB just in case.
Wonderful, good idea.
Yeah. And B, I've just been like moderately busy and doing things to not
Yeah, with live stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've just kind of not. But I've so Tyr sent me his backstory. Tyr, just call him Mike. Mike sent me his backstory.
Mike sent me bits of it.
Yeah, he sent me his full pirate backstory, the whole thing, the whole shebang. When I was on holiday, and I read the whole thing on holiday. Literally, the minute he sent it, I was sat in my room.
Yeah.
And I just went, "Fuck it, I'm going to read it." Amazing. Firstly,
yeah. No, I've just got on Tyr's backstory. It's 7 pages, and it's incredible.
I like to preface it. He is insanely good at writing a backstory.
Yeah.
I felt like I was reading a book. I was like, "What the fuck? This is insane."
It's very impressive.
Yeah.
I guess shout out Mike.
Yeah, and honestly, he did so much work for me. Like, I was just like, look, you can write whatever you want. You can put whatever you want in. I don't care. And he well built, like, some of my fucking game for me. So it's like, thank you.
That is less to world building, guys.
Exactly.
Leave it as vague as possible and make it play it work for you. That's
exactly
all I do.
Yeah. So yeah, honestly, it was really good, really fun, and I was so really excited when he sent me his backstory. I was like, yeah, let's. My campaign's going to be this year. I was like, shit. It also made me realize Michael's basically finished his character and stuff now. He's done. He's nothing else to do. He's done his subclass.
I've not considered what I'm doing yet.
So
I'm focusing on like running at the minute, and once like dip, like get to the end, I think it would only take me like a week to work things out.
Yeah, I was gonna say it won't take long. Basically everyone's finished. I just need backstories, and I could get a backstory. Yeah. As I said before, Arc 1's not going to be story. Like, there will be backstory elements, but it's just about you lot traveling. So, like, you guys could drop me a backstory like at the end of Arc 1, and I wouldn't be fussed.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like, you guys can take your time, and you can also write as much as you want, because I will read the whole thing, and I will make stuff for it. Yeah.
Don't tell me that.
No, I'm fine with it, because I enjoy lore dumping and lore diving, right? So
yeah,
this backstory is just lore, right? So I will just sit there and read the whole thing, like the second you send it to me. Yeah. He also he produced Hero Forge for the second character I want you lot to make for the ship, which is cool. And a bit of backstory for her, but like she's interlinked with his story, so it's fine.
Yes.
And the class and the subclass. He basically just gave me the whole character. I was like, sure, that works. Yeah. It's not like you guys are gonna. Yeah,
it really does help.
I mean, you guys won't really use them. I decided that the only time you will use them is obviously ship combat, because they're specifically for the ship, or if you want to do like. If you want them to come off the ship, they can come off the ship, but they will never be on combat and land, like in combat on land.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. That's fair. We can't make you run like 12 characters in combat.
Yeah, they'll just be there for like role playing. Like if you want to go into town, and you want that person to accompany you, that's fine. Go ahead. They will just be there for role playing. They might be in like a hand-to-hand combat thing, not on land, maybe on the ship, but it won't happen often. And the ship combat stuff they won't have their own personal terms. They'll just be like, you tell them where to go, and then they'll man a station. Like, they're only, once again, the only reason I made you lot make them is because it makes sense that like 6 people can't run a ship by themselves, right?
Out of interest, this is just like completely hypothetical. If I wanted to make my old lady designated NPC like a pet pig that she has, that has some kind of magical item that increases its intelligence, so it is a practical NPC, would that be okay?
Yes, you can have a
wonderful
a band of intelligence, or whatever it's called. The thing they wear in that's the one. Yeah, no, that's fine. Cool. NPC could be anything. It just needs to have.
It might just be a huge sow with a headband of intelligence.
That's fine. Yeah, it can be the cook if you want.
I can make it the captain, but sure.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Honestly, NPCs can be anything. I don't care. Yeah, you just have to thoroughly describe how you want me to play your NPC, so I can play it. Yeah,
just squeak.
Yeah, problem solved. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I honestly, but yeah, for the past month, I haven't done much. I've thought about a lot, right? Like of what I'm going to do. I just haven't done anything.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. We'll work our way up.
Have you thought about your sort of your? I think very difficult to word this without making it sound like the sort of Brennan Lee Mulligan effect, the Matt Mercer effect, that kind of thing. But I think everyone who DMs does kind of gravitate towards, you see someone DM, you're like, oh, I like their style of doing things, so you sort of gravitate towards that. Do you have an idea of whose style you kind of would, I guess, in a way, emulate, or like who do you think you'd lean towards?
Oh, that's a difficult question.
It is.
That's a very difficult question.
It's a good one as well.
It's a good one. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. In a perfect world, I would be Brennan, right? Like in a perfect world.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I'd be Brennan, right?
I mean, yeah, same. Yeah, absolutely, without question.
Yeah. Even like or Matt, like, yeah. Sadly, I'm not a voice actor and I'm bad at voices. Will I still do them? Yes. That's not the point though. They'll just be horrible. It's just horrible voices.
That's fine. It's better than I do. I just don't try.
And it only will happen for a few characters anyway. It's like recurring ones.
Like Boblin.
Like Boblin.
Yeah.
And your lot's NPCs.
Wonderful.
Yeah. But I would like it to have the shenanigans that happens in Dimension 20, right? Like,
yeah,
I don't plan on this being incredibly serious. A, because I know how everyone is. B, because like the first arc is just traveling. You can goof the fuck around in the first arc. Second arc as well, right? Later on, it will get serious, right? But like that's fine because it will be a whole build up with your characters. Like you'll be fine, exactly. Right? At the start, I don't care. Like do what you want. Like it will help me relax, and then we can get to serious stuff. But I would like the what I want is for people to be attached to their characters, right?
Yes.
Like we are in your campaign. That's the importance. I just want people to be really attached to their characters.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. And cultivating that can, I don't know, it can be. It's a good feeling as a DM when you see your players that attached to their characters and that attached and that invested to the story. It really is great.
Yeah.
So
that something like that. So the thing is as well, I'm bad at writing. Well, I'm bad at writing. Full stop. Right.
Okay.
Shit at English, like creativity and stuff, whatever. Story.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the same about myself.
Horrendous at it, right? Like I can't do, like big, well-written stories and whatever, right? So in terms of big plot twists and stuff, don't expect anything insane. There won't be some crazy ass plot twist.
I think, I would say that's true for me as well. Like I've not got any huge plot twists. Like everything you have been able to, like it's relatively straightforward.
Yeah.
So I will. You just make things convoluted. Is what I've done.
Yeah.
That was my change for like having plot twists. Like, just make things as complicated as you physically can.
Yeah. I will have. There will be riddles and puzzles.
Oh, good. Yeah.
A decent amount. I think that is one thing that I will do quite a decent amount because I enjoy them personally. I play like even like regardless of like riddles and stuff. I do like. I last year I played like 3,000 games of chess, right? Like chess. I do like Sudoku every day.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, I've got like downstairs. I've got like puzzle stuff. You know the fancy puzzles that Chris Ramsey does.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got stuff like that. I love puzzles, man. Puzzles are the shit.
That's
I love
really
it.
Cool.
Yeah, I love puzzles and I love riddles. I find it really interesting. Like I love escape rooms. I love all that shit. Right?
Oh, I love an escape room.
It's relaxing as fuck. Yeah, and you know what it is? I'm actually good at them. That's why I love them because I can do them well.
If you go to Aldershot, no, not Aldershot, somewhere down there. I'll confirm and I will tell you next week. Me and my friendship group are on the board.
No way.
On the board for the Atlantis one.
Me and my friends made
Go there and beat our fucking time, Alex. I dare you.
I will. No, me and my friends made it on. There's one in Plymouth. We made it onto the monthly top scores. For a submarine one, which is pretty cool.
Out of the submarine one.
Oh, was it? Oh, that's nice.
It was
I can't remember
a
the
Captain
company.
Cook thing or something.
Oh no, ours wasn't.
3,000 Leagues Under the Sea or something like that.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Captain Nemo, even not Captain Cook.
I was gonna say. I'm a bit confused.
Captain Cook is someone very different.
Yes. Yeah. No, but they don't do escape rooms or stuff like that. But so there will be stuff like that.
Good.
Especially because it's pirates as well. You can't have pirates without
absolutely.
riddles and puzzles,
right?
right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It should be. So the first arc will be really piratey as well. Obviously it's a pirate campaign, but I mean like pushing on the pirates, less of the gods, because obviously there's a big separate between Greek gods and like pirates, right? Like pirates don't have gods, hence choosing Greek gods. It was either Greek gods or Norse gods, and I would have chosen Norse gods, but the new Percy Jackson live action just got announced, so it's like, we're going with Greek ones. That is the deciding factor.
Like, I enjoyed it. It was good. I thought it was good.
I thought it was really good as well. And that is what decided the Greek gods for your for the campaign. So don't get me wrong. I know a lot about Norse gods as well, but I do prefer Greek gods. So
I prefer Greeks as well.
Yeah. So the first arc will be very piratey. Second arc will be a split, and then split for the rest of it. But the first arc will be mainly you lot and shenanigans. So we'll see. Should be good.
I guess now would be a time where we would go into sort of our homebrew rule, but I've struggled to find one that I guess is. I guess I got to pigeonhole myself with this little segment into like there are only so many rules that have become so frequent that they become sort of core rules.
Yeah.
But so one of Wednesday group is going to be DMing for their first time, so they've been messaging me a lot for advice, and they asked me something that I thought would be worth talking about because I think it gets lost a lot. You get a lot of questions in D&D from new DMs and I guess DMs in general who will kind of be like, how do I communicate this to my players, or how do I tell them I want them to do this? Just tell them. I think people forget that D&D is just a game and you can just communicate with your players. Hi, like just this is what I want you to do. If you just do this, then you'll have this at the end, and I mean, if you really want that to happen and you need it to happen, just tell them. I think that simplifies so many things than making it a convoluted way and kind of railroading them into doing it. Just tell them. Just communicate.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, communication is important. Yeah, for sure. I think as well, when it comes with just telling them, obviously there's like the aspect of if it's a secret, text them, or make a whispers channel.
Yes.
Because I feel like people forget that as well. Because certainly so your campaign was the first time I ever had a channel for secrets, right? Like a whispers channel. Yeah. Before
some people don't like it.
Yeah, before it'd either just get texted or they'd just say it because like it might not be too serious secret. Like yours is the first one with whispers, which I like.
I think the reason I made the channel was being dyslexic. I hate typing and I can't articulate myself well through writing, so it's easier for me to be like, I'll tell you it. I'll just speak it because I can word it better.
Yeah.
I think it helped immersion as well.
No, I agree. It makes it the role playing better. I would prefer to speak. Obviously, I said in mine I'm going to be texting people a lot what their god is saying because there's going to be
having more often.
Yeah, so it's just easier, right? But no, I still have a whispers in mine, or secrets is what mine's called or something. I like it. It's fun. I don't see a reason for there not to be. Basically, yeah.
No,
it's enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, I understand not liking the whole secrets within a party thing. I do understand that, but I don't know. I think it's fun. I really enjoy it.
Yeah,
I think it does depend on the party as well.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely sort of not party as in character-wise. I think people, like, it very much matters who you have sat at the table.
Yeah, for sure.
If you can do a secrets kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think it takes some level of maturity as well.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, no, 100%.
Because you've got to have that separation.
Yeah.
Between that is game and this is D&D.
Yeah, pretty much. No, I do agree. But it does make things better. And then like everyone, either when you guys go to Whispers, it's either we stay in character and just waffle, or we just talk about things that could be talking about in Whispers, which is that more often.
I mean, I know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's more interesting like that. But yeah. So what do you think the how long's this? So how long are we going to be in Verminia? Do you think Vermania?
If you need more time, it can be longer than I had planned.
Nice. See, I reckon I reckon it's gonna be like 4 or 5 sessions, maybe.
Probably less than that. I was thinking like 2 or 3.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, because it's not the main part, is it? We're not doing the main part of Vermania, right?
No, you're not doing the main part now. The main part will come later.
Yeah, we're just doing a bit of it.
Yeah,
which is cool. I'm fine with that. And then I'm guessing
wanting to introduce Vermania, get you guys, some of you maybe leveled up.
Yeah,
and then spit you back out.
Back to the goblins. I'm guessing, unless you have other plans for us, because I feel like if we just go straight for the goblins, that might have been in my head, right? Like mathematically, obviously, I'm not you, so I can't tell. But in my head, I was expecting like two or three people to be level 3 when we finished all the goblins, and then everyone else to get after we come back during that second arc. Because so I think, logic-wise, I think the only people who can get it, from what I can tell from people backstories, right, is Tyr at the moment. In Verminia. Not in Verminia, just, well, wherever. I feel like Northine could. I feel like she could. And I feel like Finnan as well.
Okay. Interesting.
Like either Finnan or Astra, but Finnan's from this continent, right?
Finnan is from this region, and so is Astra. Finnan is not from this region, actually. Finnan is from
Knight's Mound.
Yes, Vanmore.
Yeah. So Finnan and Astra are from this like region, like because that's like region based. Obviously, I don't know their backstories, so I don't know how important where they're born is to their backstories and their subclass, obviously. But in my head, it's like that's how those lot. Because mine doesn't make sense. As much as I've complained relatively like about not getting level 3.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense for me to get level 3 where we are currently, unless you have something else planned. Because in my head, more than likely, it's going to be either when we make it to Okra, or we make it somewhere where the Goliath Trading Company, or whatever you've called it, is. Yes. Right? And I don't think that will happen in Arc 1.
I will tell you this. Going into Act 2, to Arc 2, everyone would be level 3.
Okay, nice.
Okay? Does that make you feel better?
That does. Yeah. Yeah.
I think if I left you, everyone would be like level 3 or 4, and you'd be still level 2 as you moved your way down to Okra.
Yeah, that's the thing. That was my logic. It's like, Okra is a bit far, but at the same point in time, we could just like end up there. Like, well, I say we could. We will end up there at some point. We're not going to end up there, right? Like, it's just a part of the map. We will get there.
No, I think. Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what Act 2, not Act 2. Arc 2 will be. Arc 2 will be just you guys sort of traveling about, doing adventuring shit.
Yeah.
You'll just be tying up like loose ends, like story wise. Like obviously there'll be some unanswered questions after Arc 1, But Arc 2 is really just you guys getting to sort of a sandbox, explore the world for, I want to say, 3 levels.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that sounds good. Yeah, honestly, in my head I was like, I'm going to be one of the last. I still think that stands true. I still think I will be one of the last to get level 3. Also for balancing purposes, because I have 24 hit points and an AC of 20, right? When people level up, some of them will still have less hit points than me.
Yes. Yeah.
So in my head, it's just like, if I was to get level 3 right now, I would have 36 HP. Right. Is it 36? It is 36. I'd have 36 HP, an AC of 20, and the cool abilities I've put in my subclass for level 3, which would put me, combat-wise, ahead of the whole party by quite a bit. Because already now, do I deal insane amounts of damage. Not the most.
You can do.
Astra does.
You can. Astra?
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Rolls stupidly well on the dice.
Yes.
Almost unfairly well on the dice.
Yeah, and the thing is as
I
well...
know you're listening. You do roll unfairly. Very high.
Yeah, it's great. Not for you, for us. And because she gets 2 attacks, 3 attacks, flurry of blows, her damage output, like, it's just monks at the start, their damage output's pretty good. She'll do more damage. Tyr's probably about the same as me. The others, less. Because, it's a bard and a cleric, like, what do you expect? But I think, if I was level 3, I could easily do a significant amount more damage in one turn than everyone else. Because,
easily, yeah.
Second wind, the stuff I've got for level 3, and I think what I'm going to do in the future, though, is maybe, I'm thinking about this, at level 4 when we get feats or attributes. Honestly, I don't see myself taking an attribute upgrade, ever. Just full stop. I don't see myself taking an attribute upgrade with Dan at all the way through the levels.
I don't blame you. I think
his stats are perfect for him.
I think his stats are perfect character-wise for Dan. Obviously, you could optimize him to be much
better.
Of course. You could put more in con, but
easily,
it's not
easily.
Fun. But I things that make sense for Dan's character.
Like, don't get me wrong, I could easily put +2 into con straight away, have 20 constitution, and then be like, have all the health in the world, and be an absolute tank, and be great. Fuck that. I'm taking feats. Feats are more interesting. And honestly...
Absolutely. I fully agree with that.
Yeah. So what I've been thinking about, though, is taking dual weapon fighting at level 4.
Ooh.
And dropping my shield. So I'll lose 2 in DC. DC, AC. Right? So but that's still 18. And that can still go up with armor.
Very good.
Right? So, not fast. And then I would have 2 weapons. Which is cool. Because I will have 2 weapons. Like... Yeah, that's the thing, and then I can that's 2 attacks a turn. That's a lot of damage. Also, I feel like Dan would be the type of person to carry around 2 axes.
In memory of Cousin Viking.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like when people think of Dan, they don't think of his shield, because I don't use it.
No,
right? Like, I don't talk about it. Like, I've used it like once or twice as an attack since the campaign started. Right? Like. If you talk about Dan, you'd think of a tall guy with armor and like a weapon, right? Like, the shield just wouldn't be there. So I'm thinking about
what you think of.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking about dropping the AC. I'll take more damage, but I still have more health than everyone. And more time than not, you roll above 20 anyways. It doesn't really make a difference. Yeah. So I feel like I might take that level 4. Or it will be a different feat, like Tavern Brawler is one that is on my list to take.
Given the context of Dan's backstory and the connection with the last god of intoxicants, I think that makes sense.
And given how I play as well, I feel like Tavern Brawler would be so helpful.
It really does make sense.
Yeah, Tavern Brawler, dual weapon fighting. There's the Relentless Attacker or Savage Tortellay or whatever it's called, Savage Attacker, something like that.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Which is, you roll twice, your damage die. No, that's the Baldur's Gate one. It's different, I think. Or is it the same?
I honestly don't know, but it
I
wouldn't
can't
surprise me
remember,
if it's
but
different.
it is a good one. There's also Tough, which is like cool. It's just more hit points, and I feel like
Tough is always a good one.
Yeah,
There's Lucky as well. Lucky's quite good.
Lucky's cool. Yeah, but I don't think Dan's lucky, so I just wouldn't take it.
No, I don't think Lucky's Dan.
Yeah.
Here's a question:
Mm.
Would you ever multi-class with Dan?
I would, and I thought about it. I have actually thought about this.
That's really cool.
So
is
depending,
it barbarian?
No. In fact, Dan
It's
will
not
never
barbarian.
ever multi-class into barbarian.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Before you say who it is, I want to try and guess a few more times.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
It just to help, or this won't help. It won't be based off his stats. I won't multi-class to help.
No, I know, and
his
that's
stats.
why I've got a rogue in my head.
Oh, Dan being a rogue would be amazing.
Dan thinks he's sneaky.
Dan being a rogue would be amazing.
Artificer could be a good one for Dan. I feel like he's got that.
He
idea
does
in his head that he's good at stuff.
Yeah,
but also wizard.
Yeah. You know what? You might get this.
I don't know. There's so many good options. Well, bad options for Dan.
Depending how the campaign plays out for Dan, right, with all the stuff he's doing, there's like 3 in my head. So, Paladin or Cleric, right? Because of the religion stuff. Though I know we have a Paladin and a Cleric, but it would be like a level or 2, right? Because of the religion stuff. Yeah. That was like my first thoughts getting in. It was like, cool, I could do that. Is it likely? Maybe. We have a Paladin and a Cleric, and Dan might just like... It will mean I get proficiency in religion at some point, which would be cool. But that's still going to be shit because I still have a -1 in it at the moment, so it's not going to be going to be amazing, right? Bard.
Bard makes sense. Bard makes sense
for the deception. Bard for like the charisma stuff, like persuasion, deception, intimidation. Being a trader might be important to have. And then, so I wouldn't. The classes I wouldn't is barbarian, druid, rogue. I wouldn't do for Dan.
Interesting.
Druid makes sense. I would never ever do druid with Dan. It just doesn't. It doesn't match his character.
It doesn't fit his character. Yeah. No.
I feel like I feel like everyone in the campaign who will listen to this and be like, "Oh, you're not going to multi-pass barbarian." It's really confusing because he basically is one, right? And Dan having rage would be sick, but Dan doesn't get angry at people. Though. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, in combat, having Dan's stats, his subclass for fire, and having rage would make him unbelievable, but he doesn't get angry at people.
He's also had that military training.
Yeah.
Where it would have been almost moved out of him to lose focus in battle. I mean, he trained to be a knight.
Yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't do, role-playing wise, in rage, you don't just, like, you're raging, right? So I wouldn't be able to do all them fancy ass shit that I try and come up with. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I'd never go barbarian. As cool as it would be, I just couldn't. Also, barbarians get unarmored armor, unarmored defense, even.
Defense.
Dan never takes off his armor. What's the point?
That's true.
He sleeps in it. He doesn't take it off, right? So there's no point. We'll never do barbarian. Rogue is interesting. Dan does think he's sneaky, and you do get persuasion in persuasion. You do get proficiency in deception and sleight of hand.
Dan as a rogue would be hilarious.
Yeah, so he does actually have a +3 index. However, his armor always puts him at disadvantage. So it makes it useless, right?
You could make it like a +7 though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it could go up like really big, and then he'll be like he will actually be good at sneaking, right? But
not bad.
Yeah, good but bad. But I just couldn't. In my head, I couldn't put Dan as a rogue. It'd be funny, but I just couldn't do it. I have actually, as shits and giggles, thought about doing a casting class like like warlock or something, and the premise being Dan accidentally gets into a pact with.
That would be funny. That would be really
with
funny.
someone, because he does tend to pray to people.
That's true. Dan does do a lot of praying for no reason.
So that would be something which I would entertain. If it got like if it somehow ended up getting close to that, I'd just be like, you know what? Let me take a level in Warlock and we can do that, because he'd be shit. He'd be an awful caster.
I feel like Dan does the kind of praying where he like opens the cosmic void and goes, "Hello, anybody want to chat?"
Dan guesses.
Wait for anything to respond.
Dan guesses. Many times, on many occasions, have I thought about praying to another god. The only reason I'm constantly playing to a Laz is because alcohol. But like, at some point, I will pray to someone else. Like, he will just pray because he's being told to. No other reason, right? So, Warlock is like a top 3 class that I would subclass, like a multi-class Dan with, because yeah, he's got a +0 in charisma, right? Like his spells aren't going to be amazing, but like imagine Dan Eldritch blasting someone. It's just bosh.
You can. Oh, what's the one where you drag them towards you? Because Dan doing that, you Eldritch blast them and then pull them towards you.
Yeah.
And then the next turn, decapitating them.
Yeah,
would be amazing.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So I thought about it, doing that with Dan. Obviously, yeah, I've talked about Cleric and Paladin. Sorcerer, no, because, well, actually, it's in my backstory that his mum was a caster.
Okay.
Well, I think I did say that, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in there. If it's not, I do now know.
Yeah. So he could be a sorcerer, but I also specifically stated that Dan is too... And I know sorcerers is all bloodlines, you don't have to be smart. You just got to be charismatic or whatever. But I have specifically stated Dan was too stupid to learn magic. So, like, he wouldn't be a sorcerer or wizard.
So wild magic sorcerer?
See, that could work. That would be insane, because
it
would bring a lot of chaos. More so than already have.
It really would.
Yeah. Absolutely, Dan wouldn't be a wizard. But I keep seeing these like TikToks and stuff about people making like a wizard class where it's like, you're actually a sorcerer, but you think you're a wizard. So
That's
you just
funny.
Write a bunch of gibberish in a book.
That's really cool.
Like your backstory is you went to school, you didn't understand anything, you didn't use the words properly, you wrote a bunch of gibberish, but it still works, and you stump your professors every single time.
That's funny. I really like that. That's
yeah.
So good.
I feel like Dan could just pull something off like that. Like, it's such a Dan thing.
Dan. That's prime Dan.
That, yeah. But no, I wouldn't say wizard. Rangers are an interesting one.
Yeah.
Because now the thing is, Dan is very close range. He does have a crossbow though. Do I use it much? No. I don't. But like, he could, and then he could do the Beast Tamer subclass, or Draken Warden, because Dan likes dragons.
Both are very cool, to be fair.
Yeah,
Drake Warden's a fun one.
Imagine Dan with a little pseudo dragon like on his shoulder. Well, it's not a pseudo dragon; it's like a baby drake.
It's like a guard drake. They're kind of like
they
kind of thing. You can ride them.
Yeah, I think level 7's when you ride them. Level 3 is like a 12 hit point one or something. Because I had it on my other my first character. I had multi-class.
You did. Yeah.
And Dan having a dragon would be so cool. Dan would love that.
Someone in Wednesday campaign has a pseudo dragon, which I think they've forgotten about.
Dan could never, because Dan does.
But it is just still there. I think it's called Ember or something. It's got a name. I've not remembered the name because it's not been used in months.
Yeah, but I feel like Dan could do Ranger just for the pets, because Dan loves pets and he would love to talk to pets. Like, if Dan had speak with animals, he would just get lost speaking to animals.
Please don't get to speak with animals, because that doubles the amount of NPCs that I've got to be prepared for Dan to interact with.
But Dan wouldn't speak to people anymore. Dan would only speak to pets.
Yes.
Yeah. Dan would become the king of pets. Like, he would have his own empire.
That's true. You would do
and
that.
It's such a damn thing. So that's the thing. I've thought about multiclassing a lot, and I think I will. There's more chance I will than I won't, because don't get me wrong, I loved making my subclass and I love the whole thing, right? And it would be great if I can get far through it, but there's only a certain part I want to get to, and then I couldn't give a shit about the rest of it, right? I want that climbing movement speed. That's all I want. I need it so much.
What level is that?
I'm gonna say 7.
Okay, we can take that down. That's not too bad.
yeah, exactly. Like, I know, because it's part of another thing, isn't it? I think it's either 7 or like 12. Either way, I just want to get there, because it's what it's you get climbing, double your movement speed, and you have advantage on the checks.
Yeah,
I would just climb up everything.
Yeah. Which is a shame if Dan died level 10, though, wouldn't it?
It would. It would be a real big shame. And then, like, it would. Dan likes climbing. Yeah, Dan likes climbing things. It would just be nice to have, like, for role playing and for combat stuff, right? Dan would basically be a spider. But yeah, I just want to get that, and then and I'm not too fast about the rest of it. Like, obviously, I will progress it maybe to the next level set of stuff, but yeah, honestly, after talking about being a ranger, it's up there now. Like, beast tamer as Dan would be so fun.
I kind of like it for Dan.
Obviously, he has no wisdom, so
I think it would work.
Spells wouldn't really work for him.
It wouldn't be a good ranger.
Yeah, but also I would have Hunter's Mark.
That's terrifying, actually. Yeah, but okay. Yeah, I'm getting scared, so we're gonna move on.
Yeah. Well,
I'm seeing.
Yeah, go on.
I'm seeing a lot more people recently, online talking about. I don't know if people listening will remember when you talked about combat and how you want to run that for ship combat.
Yes.
In that you have PC turn, then enemy turn.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen more and more people talking about doing that in just general combat.
I've heard that, yeah.
And I have thoughts on it.
I have mixed feelings about something like that.
I'm not a fan of it personally. I think in a way it can also take away player agency, because you do lose your turn, and you do a person will, and if you're not close with the paid table, you could get pushed to the side. I think it does have some room for that to sort of. I would feel comfortable running it for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too sure, because I think you guys get along well enough that it will be fine. I think other groups of mine, Friday especially, they don't know each other too well. We've only been sort of playing since like October.
Yeah.
Maybe like in a couple of months when they're sort of closer, I'd feel more comfortable running it. Wednesday would probably be fine, but some of them are sort of more newer, more inexperienced players.
Yeah.
So like it could get confusing for them. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah. So the good thing about this, and I've always thought about this, is like, regardless of, obviously, I do a lot of weird things in combat, right? Like non-traditional combat things.
Yes.
Absolutely 100%. If it went enemy turn then our turn, I absolutely 100% would start doing combo attacks. Because you can't do that in turn-based. In just regular initiative, right? They're like, we've tried. Like for me to do something on my turn, and I would wait like however many turns and Tyr would have to do it as well. Like, help. We tried, we thought about it, right? It's not amazing. If it went like enemies and good guys, or like enemies and us, whatever, it'd be very easy to do combo attacks, which is great fun.
It really would.
Yeah, which would be great fun. However, at the same point in time, A, whatever we can do, they can do, and B, it would get kind of messy. Like, not the combo attacks, it's just combat would get messy, because
I think so.
Everyone's going at once, right? Like, it just, so much shit would happen. Like, at the same point in time as well, if, let's say the enemies go first, easily somebody could be dropped straight to 0 hit points, and then just miss everything. Like, let's say I'm sat at the front because I am Dan. easily they could all just hit him, and then he goes to 0 hit points, and then that's it. Like, I think the negatives outweigh the positives on having a full round of enemies and a full round of us.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely. And like going back to your point there about like taking out, I don't know. It's something I do for most encounters when it comes to that sort of question. Is I will roll an intelligence check for the creatures to see are they smart enough in this moment to do. Like, I know taking out the cleric when they're on low hit points, or doing some kind of move that stops Northing being able to heal you guys. Like, I know that's a good move, but do they?
Yeah.
So if immediately combat started and they were all like, let's kill the fucking cleric because they rolled high on intelligence, like, Northing's gone, you're not healing. And then they just start picking off, like, Astra has a relatively low AC, very high damage output, but lower AC. Take out Astra, and then just slug out with you and Dan, or you and Tyr.
Yeah, pretty much. No, I agree. I roll intelligence for me for Dan as well, actually.
Yeah, I think it's a fun. It's a fun. It's what's the word? I can't think of the word. Never mind. Move on. It's a fun idea. We'll go with idea.
Yeah. I agree. No, it also helps me decide because as much as I know perfectly how to play Dan, being my character, there will still be slight bias to what I want to do personally, as opposed to what Dan would want to do. Right. So my logic for all the weird fancy shit he does in combat is the fact that he's been fighting people for like 20 years, right? So like that's just second nature to him. And he doesn't have to be smart to do stuff like that, right? So that's my logic for that. But if it's something like, identify their healer, kill their healer, I will roll an intelligence check because Dan doesn't care what their class is more time than not. He just cares about killing things.
Yeah.
So that's my logic for Dan.
Okay, but no, it's a very good look. But something I've just thought of hearing you say that was you saying that you do fun things in combat. I guess you can apply that same logic to sort of this. I guess my reservations about it is maybe I'm not confident enough in my ability as a DM to run something like that. But I guess for a newer DM, what you do in combat, they wouldn't allow because they aren't confident enough in their abilities to run it. So I guess in that same idea, maybe it's just I'm not I don't feel like I'm experienced enough to run it, and something I don't know.
Yeah,
like I can see the merits of it, and if it works for your table, absolutely fucking.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. If it works for your table,
shitting over the idea. It's just not something that I think I would ever want to run.
Yeah, the only time I run it is ship combat, and that's because it's a ship.
I think that makes sense. Yeah,
and it's not like the characters on the ship are actually being hit by the other characters on the other ship. It's the ship hitting the ship. You're just preparing the ship to do something, right? That's the logic.
Also, turns on the ship are going to be longer because it takes longer to do things on a ship, right? It's not going to be 6 seconds, but we have to load a fucking cannon, fire the cannon, run the entire length of the deck, put the sails up, put the sails down. The turns are going to be longer.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm going to circle back, actually.
Oh, right, okay.
So we were talking about, you asked me if Dan would multi-class, and we talked about it. Do you think anyone else in our group will? Do you think anyone else will multi-class?
I know someone else will.
I think so.
I only know of one person, so I think if I talk about other people who I think, we're going to disclose that, who that person is. So I'm not going to say anything.
Okay, yeah. I think Tyr will. I think Tyr will multi-class. So he'll have high charisma, but he won't go for a casting. I think he'll multi-class into fire or something just for the like second wind. Like just not even like backstory related. Like he just might want second wind or second wind and action surge, right? Because they're cool.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe I think he would be inclined to.
Finnan has mentioned wanting to multi-class. I think.
Yes, I think.
I think Bard is a good one to multi-class.
I think Bard is the easiest.
It's so versatile.
I think Bard is the easiest to multi-class with because you can have any college that just works for every single thing, and then you can just multi-class into it. Like it's very easy to multi-class with Bard.
I think it's a good move as well to multi-class away from Bard.
Yeah.
We don't have a Warlock, but Warlock.
Yeah,
is also a good one. But back to who you think. You think Tyr?
I think Tyr. Tyr will be a martial class. I think it will be fighter or barbarian. I can see Tyr using rage. I really can.
I also can.
I can see him getting healed by Northine and then raging. I can just see it.
That would be so interesting.
It would.
That would be really fun.
Yeah,
that'd be a fun mechanic to play with.
That would be, yeah. So 100% I can see something like that. I think Astra might.
Okay.
That one's iffy. I don't know enough of her backstory to claim that she will. When I say enough, I don't know any of it. But
True.
If she were to, it would be... I don't think she'd go for casting. I couldn't see her going... Maybe Warlock has a push. I don't know relations to God's Fur, so I couldn't tell you.
Player doesn't like casters.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we I talked about that before with that. So I reckon Ranger. I could see Astra doing Ranger. I could see firstly Ranger monk class, like multi-classes are the best. Cool. I love them.
That's fun.
It was literally really cool, my first character was a Ranger monk multi-class. So
you're biased there. Okay,
I am biased
maybe
there.
Maybe not as cool, but
very cool. But like easily, Astra has some personality traits that will be similar to Dan. So if she was to have Beastmaster as well, Beast Tamer, she would love that because pets.
True.
She wouldn't do Drake and Warden. I could see her doing something like there's the what's the class called? The subclass. I can't remember it now.
What is it?
There's one which is specifically good for tracking things.
Scout.
She might do that.
I think it's Scout
because I feel like she'd be the type of person to enjoy hunting things.
Yeah.
There's the roguelike one, which could Astra would either go into rogue or just like multi-classing rogue or ranger. I think
rogue would be terrifying.
Rogue would be terrifying. Scary. She'd sneak everywhere and stab everyone, and I'd be scared shitless.
But
she'd also get.
Stop. We're giving her ideas.
She would also get the chance to disengage, hide, and dash without spending key points. So it will save her key points, which she can use on other things.
Mechanically, it makes a very good sense. Yeah. Also, like I guess story-wise, like narratively as well, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because she's quite sneaky. But honestly, like she could just go all the way with monk, which is cool because I love monks. Finnan, like maybe Northine? No.
I think Finnan has expressed interest, so
yeah. But Northine,
I think no as well.
No, unless she wants to create a pact with her god and get a class like a few levels in Warlock. That's the only way I see it being possible.
Is it pact divine?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
I think it is pact divine. Yeah. That's the only way I see her multi-classing. Yes. I don't see her multi-classing any other way. Yeah, like mechanically wise, it would probably be Druid or Ranger because wisdom. But like she just wouldn't. I can't see her doing that. I can see her going the whole way with Cleric. Yeah. So I think most of our party would multi-class, but I think I will be the first person to put a level in another class. I think. Yes. I can see level 5 me not going to well, that's a lie. No, you get cool stuff at level 5. Level 6. level 6, I reckon. No, actually, is it level 6 you get 5 or is it level 6 for fire? Whatever level I get my next set of stuff, the level after will be my multi-class. So it might be 7 actually. So like level 8 would be my multi-class. My first level
that makes
class. Yeah. And then I do it every other. So then it would be we're not going to make level 20, so it'd be like 12 levels in fire and like 4 levels in another class, basically.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. which is fine by me.
You mentioned earlier we don't technically have a horror story.
It's not a horror story as such. It's Am I the Arsehole? Which is basically a horror story, right? Like, they're basically asking, they just know it's a horror story and they're asking if they were the arsehole.
How bad is it? Are we going to have to update our board?
I don't think it's that bad. So, in this case, it's not... So, this is why I chose this one. It's not about something that happened outside of the story. It happened in the story, and they're asking if they should have done it in the story, right? So...
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, interesting. What's the title? And then I'm gonna give a prediction, which is dangerous, but I'm gonna try.
Cool. So basically, the title is "Am I the Arsehole for trying to steal a business from a child?" Interesting title, but like, it's D&D, right? You might not be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's D&D.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I live out in a frontier town near the border of my country. It's a simple place with even simpler people. The village is rather poor and doesn't have many exports to bring in money. Other than some low-quality crops, the only real export positions are apothecary. The problem being that the apothecary is run by a 13-year-old child who's quite gifted when it comes to potion making, but he's far too young in charge of such a...
For a second, I thought that this person was ripping the shit out of their town.
No. They're talking in character.
All in game.
Yeah.
Okay.
The problem being is that the apothecary is run by a 13-year-old child who's quite gifted when it comes to potion making, but he's far too young to be in charge of such a vital part of the village economy. My proof for this comes for when one of his employees came to my party to ask us for help with a rat infestation before it gets out of hand because the owner was scared or embarrassed to do anything about it. The next day, we ventured into the cellar where we found out not only are the apothecary's extra ingredients stored, but also the village's entire winter ration supply. After a grueling battle in the damp, dark, and decrepit cellar fighting off giant rats, we emerged victorious. The next day, I went to speak with the village leader to discuss the dangerous situation regarding the food storage, because it seemed obvious to me and the rest of the party that this child is far too naive and immature to be responsible for something so vital to the village's survival. The village leader mostly agreed with the party's decision to put someone else in charge of running the business, at least until he becomes of age. But when the guard captain, who's been a real thorn in our side for a while, started rallying the townspeople against us by claiming we were trying to steal the business, that he started away from him, but that wasn't our intention. Now, half the town is mad at us, and it's getting harder and harder for us to get people to see our side of things. Are we the arseholes as the party? Basically, that's it. So, in their game, they're trying to steal a business from a 13-year-old child. That runs the town, basically.
Are any of the other comments confused about why they posted this?
No. So, yeah, the wording...
It's very nuanced, right?
It is. The wording was a bit of a struggle when I was reading this. But yeah, so I think they're trying to take control of the... what it sounds like, they're trying to take control of the business to make sure it works.
It doesn't sound like they're trying to take control of the business. They went to the mayor and was like, hi.
Yeah. They're trying to change the leader.
This is something you should be aware of.
Yeah.
And the mayor's gone, right, we'll change the leadership. They've not. Yeah. It's not... The party didn't do anything. The party was...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the comments actually called him the arsehole. And it said, you're trying to bend the town to your idea of good intentions. Yeah. Is one of them. And then the other one said, you judge their ability purely on age, not skill. If the owner had been running it for nearly a year just fine, then I wouldn't jump to the conclusion that they are unfit due to age. Second, what makes you qualified to judge his ability to run the business? Are sales down due to his poor management? Are conditions bad? Do you have experience running an apothecary? Do you know the local landscape and confidently confirm that his practices are not sustainable? You also decided based on one event that they had less than 24 hours to deal with before you decided it must be fixed and he has to go. You are basing this solely on his reaction to this event, but if you dug a little deeper, you would have found out an interesting little piece of information. That kid has musophobia, a pretty severe case of it by the sounds of it. The mismanagement you are claiming, the one of you are rallying people in an attempt to remove him based on his greatest fear. Of course, in 24 hours, it would be hard for them to get a plan together, but they would still get a meeting to deal with it, which you casually left out, by the way. So in the end, your two reasons are they are young and you acted faster than them in a single problem, is the logic this other comment's gone for. So I think they're calling them the arsehole because there is no real logic for them to be complaining about the apothecary, because it still works and it still runs. But yeah, it's a 13-year-old, but it works, right? But then I get seeing, like, if you came across a 13-year-old in charge of an apothecary that runs the village, basically,
yeah,
I get thinking that it will be too much work.
I think you guys would do the same. You guys would absolutely go to the town elder and be like, "Hi, there's rats in your food storage.
Yeah,
just what you should know." And then the village elder's gone, "Oh yeah, sure, we'll replace the child." They've not insinuated from that. Nowhere there does it say they petitioned for the child to be removed.
Yeah.
Nowhere there does it say they actively tried to have the child. Like, nowhere do they try and get the child removed. What?
So, you'll never guess what.
Oh no!
This is wait a minute. Oh my god! This is a 3-part.
So it's a 3-parter.
So people have done it from 2 different perspectives. I just went back, be like, oh, just to look at things.
Okay. I'm settling down for part 2.
So the one we just read was the perspective of the parties of the PCs. We have the perspective of the owner of the apothecary, the 13-year-old.
Who wrote these?
Different accounts as well.
So did the DM write this?
They might have.
Okay, but who was part 3 from?
Part 3 was from the night guard, the guard captain.
These people are far too much. I'm sorry, they have far too much time on their hand.
Yes.
It's that no, that's mean to say, but no, you know what? It's fine. They're having fun. They're chilling. I retract that comment.
Yes. So I believe this is all like satire, which is great. It might have actually happened in game, and they might just decided to put it on.
How aggressive is this child being written?
We can read it now. Cool. So
from that, I'm guessing quite a bit.
The title for the child's perspective is "Am I the arsehole for firing an employee that talked back to me?"
Oh God, okay.
Cool. So I, 13M, am the owner of an apothecary that my father entrusted to me.
I'm just imagining this 13-year-old in his apothecary angrily writing a Reddit.
I've been running the apothecary for almost a year now, and in that time I've had no issues until a new half-elf 26F wizard started working for me. She was a loner that always stuck to herself.
I take back my comment. This is so good.
Oh my god. She chose to go into the forest, collect herbs, instead of brewing potions with everyone else. I understand she has some previous potion brewing experience, so it was disheartening to see her talents wasted. However, every time I tried to talk to her, she'd talk down to me. I understand my age is a point of contention, and sometimes people find it hard to take me seriously, but I'm still her boss. One day she came up...
Wait.
Yeah.
Stop for 1 second. They said, how old is this half-elf?
26.
Oh, it's a half-elf.
Yeah, it's half-elf.
Oh, never mind. I thought you said it was an elf who was 26 years old. Like, that elf is still a child.
Yeah. One day she came up to me and told me she found signs of a rat infestation in one of our storehouses. For some context, I have musophobia. That's where that comment came from, right? That's why that comment knew so much. They read the other parts.
So funny.
The thought of a rat infestation made me sick to the point of fainting. At the moment, all I wanted to do was leave the area and get to safety before I threw up, or worse. When I tried to leave, she kept telling me about the rats and how I had to take care of it right now. My body was shaking and my eyes were watering, but she refused to let me leave. Finally, I convinced her to leave, but my head was spilling and I was going to faint. By the time I got home, I was a mess. I ended up throwing up and I cried myself to sleep. When the next day came, I saw how bad the rat infestation was, especially since they were giant rats. I collected myself enough to call a meeting with all of my employees so I could enlist their help. However, The half-elf wizard just started rubbing it in my face she was right and started telling everyone how she saw this coming. She ended up teaming up with another one of my new employees who started around the same time as her, and they started saying how I wasn't ready to run a business, ignoring how I've been running it for the better part of a year. This was too much for me to handle. Their negative comments combined with how I already felt like throwing up again gave me the perfect opportunity to try and strong-arm me, using my other employees as witnesses. It was too much to handle. I threw up again. They pounced at it and began telling me how I'm just a kid, how I'm too immature, and how they would take over and show me how to do it. I snapped and fired the half-elf wizard. However, this only made things worse, and they began planning on taking my business out from under me by appealing to the village leader to step in and take my business from me. So, the first part we read was from the former employee's perspective. Yeah, aka the players, right? Who've been living in that village. This one was from the 13-year-old.
Yeah, next is one from the guard.
Yeah, and now we're getting one from the guard. This is amazing. Cool. I, 30M fighter.
I take back my this is so good.
Yeah. I, 30M fighter, have been living in this new frontier village for almost a year. Recently, some new settlers have arrived in the village. I've been in this village since day one, so I know a thing or two on how it functions. Most of the new settlers were ready to work and find their place. However, there was one specific group of 4 that felt like they owned the place. I, being a well-liked and respected guard, decided not to allow them to run rampant. Me and this specific group, who we refer to as the One Names, due to the fact their names play an important part in the kingdom we live in. The more names you have, the higher the status. Everything came to head when a meteor crashed down near the village. Everyone gathered for a meeting to suggest what we should do. I said the One Names go and investigate as a way to teach them some discipline, and so they can contribute something to the village. But they all started yelling at me as a town guard, I have to go. I knew that they just wanted an excuse to cause more trouble for the village. As a guard, if something happened in the village, I needed to be at the village to meet the threat. I started explaining to the townspeople over the yelling that I can't go because I'm their shield in times of hardship. However, some of the villagers are against me, stating they just got here and don't know much about the forest layout. There were also those saying the One Names were a big contribution to the village, even though they just arrived. So they had cleaned the outhouses multiple times when their first week, and even took up jobs in the apothecary, church, and one of them is even a night watchman. I don't believe their antics should be excused with a simple hard day's work, and for all the stress they have caused me, am I the arsehole? So,
I don't feel like we can say anything about this. It's amazing. I'll say it's amazing. It's fantastic.
Honestly,
it's clearly been planned very well.
Yeah. When I read the title, I thought it was genuinely like, oh, I did this in the game. Would you guys have done the same?
It's wonderful.
Yes, this was amazing.
There's fucking lore to this. Am I the asshole?
Yeah, this is insane.
This is my favorite. This is
the best one we've done. This is the best one we've done. 100%.
This is so good.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god. Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you listened to the last week's episode, you might have heard us say we were planning an episode with Eldritch Podler. Episode is still happening. We've had to push it back a week due to other things popping up. But next week, tentatively, it's being recorded, and it should be up soon. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this episode. As always, we're everywhere. All the big platforms, Spotify, Amazon,
Apple,
Google,
YouTube.
We're also on YouTube if you want to watch.
Yeah.
Look at our beautiful faces while you listen to us.
Indeed.
Chat for an hour about absolute shit.
Pretty much, yeah.
Our ability to make an episode out of fucking nothing is, I'd say, impressive.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Oh. We never have a plan going into these episodes.
Never, ever.
Which I hope you guys can't tell. It's fine. We have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
But thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.